There we go, we're live. Hi everyone and welcome to Shooting the Shit episode 112. Yay. And yes, we have what I've done earlier, or I was messing about earlier. Finally went back on the...
Damn it.
Hi, welcome. Okay, it looks like you've got the wrong account.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, whatever. Hello, this is Phil, or whoever the fuck it is.
Twilight, usually. Yeah, I was just saying, I was messing about earlier on the Patreon thing, and I'll fill out a couple of extra wee things. So there's now, because I've enabled Discord, and you can set it like permissions on the Discord, so if someone's paying certain tiers, you can give them extra extra powers and shit.
Rules.
Yeah. So I've set that up. Also tried to do the RSS feed, which doesn't work. I've tried to contact him on Twitter about it. It should work, but it doesn't. It only works for files lower than 200 meg, and sometimes, most of the time, this show is over that. So the only way to do it is with a URL, and what we usually do is we upload it to the website, but the website URL doesn't work on Patreon for some reason. They don't like it.
Why is this? I don't... Google Plus profile? Okay, it exists, yet for some reason, I'm trying to figure out why
Maybe you logged on. Maybe you logged on in a different profile. It does that to me sometimes, but I've figured it out. Because sometimes I log on with this one instead of the Mornblade one, and sometimes I log on with the Mornblade one.
I don't think so.
I just go to YouTube and sign out. Oh, well, anyway. So I've done that. The Patreon didn't give us this month's pay because they stopped it for some reason. So I'll need to figure that out. But yeah, so other ways is, look, we don't have ads basically, so it's quite good if someone wants to shell.
There we go. All right, we're good.
There you go. It's quite good if someone wants to throw in like $1 on Patreon or whatever, because we don't have ads on the website and stuff. There's other things that we have on the website, like they might look like ads, but they're not, because you have to click them and then buy a game for it to do anything. It's not an ad, it's like an affiliate link, different. And so we pay for everything through Patreon. Basically, Patreon's the only way we get money. YouTube, we don't get enough views to get basically anything from it at all, and we've been doing it for years now. So yeah, there's that. So if you like the actual station itself, not just the show, then give us $1 or whatever you can afford would be nice. And the other thing is, I don't know, I've lost my train of thought now. Yes. Anyway, that'll do. I sometimes I forget to shill, so I'm doing my little shilling in this time. I never usually do it, but I was looking at Patreon and thinking, I better be doing something about this. Right, so apart from that, we've got is it Kyrgyzstan flag up there? Yay, because why not? Right, articles. Going to start with games. Okay, so, well, games, Steam, whatever. So, I'll get this one up. Why is it so much hassle? So much hassle to screen share and do it. There we go, that one. Right.
My kitty's bothering me. Oh, my kitty.
Yay. Yeah. Hi, welcome to the show. basically, if it's your first time on the show, I just talk about shit. We bring up articles, I get drunk, and progressively this show just gets worse.
So it sounds like every other stream.
Yeah, except
So
except
yeah,
it's
I know the format.
yeah. I just progressively get worse as I get more drunk, so it's quite good. I enjoy it, so there's that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys can all see this on the thing. Maybe. Yes, no.
I can see it.
Yes. I'm just making sure it's working. I wish I had OBS and a decent internet so I didn't have to use fucking Hangouts to do this. Anyway, so basically Steam is doing a direct publishing program which will replace Greenlight. Obviously, you can read that. Because everyone knows that Greenlight was a fucking disaster, pretty much. Because everyone would just greenlight everything, and you got games that were just like shit. So Steam's getting rid of it about time, to be honest. So by spring, they're going to get rid of Greenlight, and they're going to be calling this other service Steam Direct. I'll just so they've been it has been a success and stuff, and they wanted more like quality stuff. So there's another article that I read, and it wasn't this one, but it used to be a one-off fee of like $100. Now this is going to be more like an application for like a bank. So you have to fill out your company name. You have to do a lot more things like tax and all that. And it can cost you from anywhere between $100 to I think it was $5,000. So I think it depends, like what type of, like it's maybe like the way banks do loans. You know what I mean? So if you fill in the form, maybe it depends on your revenue and all that stuff. Depends on what they're going to charge you or whatever. I don't know, but seemingly that's what it's going to be. It's going to be from $100 to $5,000 depending on your application. Yeah, there you go. So under direct, developers would have to pay a fee for every application they submit. Now you have to submit an application for each game, with fees ranging from $100 to $5,000. This is intended to cut down the low quality submissions and cash flips. That's what they're doing. See, that was the problem with Greenlight. So the exact amount they're going to charge for direct applications has not been decided upon, as the company is taking feedback from developers before deciding how much to charge. I think it will be dependent on like maybe how many games you've submitted or whatever, and if they've been successful or not. Like if they've been like really shitty or something, maybe the fee goes up, like because that would stop these shit games coming out and then just fucking up the service. Anyway, so
I was a big Steam user for a long time, and I pretty much stopped just because I kept finding shit games, and like I would always go and play the little indie games and stuff that would show up on there because they were the best. The ones that with the big developers that would end up on Steam always ended up being shit and didn't ever work right. Yeah,
but a lot of the indie developer ones were like that too, because of Greenlight. You had games that weren't even half finished, and they would be. It wasn't even early access. It was like supposed to be a complete game, and it was like shit. So I think that's what this is about. Although you're right, a lot of the AAA games are the same. Like they just all feel the same now.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them. There is some okay ones, quite good ones. Here and there. Like there's maybe like 2 or 3, maybe 4 good ones a year, and the rest of them are just like.
I'll say like there's like maybe 2, 3, 4 really good ones a year, and then you'll get a few dozen decent games that'll show up, and then it's a whole lot of, all right, this is fun for an hour, then I get bored, and then there's some that don't work at all.
Yeah, I think you're I think you're a bit like me. That's what I do. I go in and then I get them. I think, oh, that'll be good, and I play, and I'm like, oh, it just feels the same as the last one. 4 or 5 hours later, unless the story grabs me. Like if the story grabs me, then I'll play a average, normal-ish AAA game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay isn't great, but it's okay. And if the story's quite good, I'll be like, I want to complete it because I want to get to the end of the story. But apart from that, I'll just play it for like a couple hours and then go, nah, shit.
Well, see, like this, I've always loved the older games way more than I've enjoyed. Like I got so many emulators and little arcade mods and stuff, just because the old games, it was built on, all right, well, how do we make a new game? Like how do we have new gameplay, new something else? It wasn't about the graphics, or it wasn't about the story. It was always just, how do we make interesting gameplay with the technology we have at our disposal? And it seems the only people that are doing that anymore are the ones who are trying to make the billion-dollar games, and they're trying, but because it's so expensive, it's not working out for them, and then no one else tries it. Yeah, it's because they try and put in too much. Like
they try to make too many promises, like with that freaking that Mega Man knockoff thing. You know the game I'm talking about that they had the Kickstarter for, and they raised like a ton of money, and then their first thing, their graphics like look good or whatever with the first like little preview or something, but then when the game actually came out, like where did those nice graphics go? Where did all the promises go? Like they bit off more than they could chew, and I think that's like a pattern with these people. They're biting off more than they can chew.
Well, I mean, you can just look at Star Citizen.
Mighty number 9, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Mighty number 9. 6.
I couldn't remember.
Mighty number 9. It was Mighty number 9. Yeah. Star Citizen.
I didn't throw in money for it. So.
No. I don't think I've ever done a Kickstarter game.
No. That's not happening. You put the game out, and I'll buy it after it's out.
I've done early access games. Like I've done a couple of early access ones.
I did one early access game.
But they don't know.
That's
early
different. Early access is different than Kickstarter. Early access, like, you get to come in, you get to play, you get to report bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but back in the day, they used to call that a beta tester. Like they used to actually pay people to do that shit, right? And now they just go, oh, it's early access here, guys, and they keep it early access for like 5 years, and it's like, what the fuck? No.
One of the little games I have on my phone, I've kind of become a casual gamer for the most part over the last couple of years, because most of the real games I was into have turned to shit. But there's one casual game I have on my phone. It's this little idle tower defense kind of game or whatever. I've been playing it for 4 years, and it's still in beta testing.
Oh my god!
It's the funnest little stupid time waster game, but it's been in beta for 4 fucking years.
Yep, that's ridiculous. Like I don't think they should be doing that. Like,
no,
I think
they should have a limit. Okay, we're going to have
like early access should be, to me, like early access should be Like you've done alpha, you've done some beta testing, and a lot of the beta testers have sort of caught nearly everything, but it's not quite there yet. And then you can put it on early access and still add shit. So you've got the core mechanics down, you've got like maybe half the cars down, but you've got like most of the gameplay mechanics are already there. And you're just basically polishing, like maybe adding cars, characters. Some obviously, if you're adding cars and characters, you're going to get bugs. So you've sort of done all of that, but it's pretty much polishing and adding like more content to make it a bigger game, like maybe maps and stuff. So you're adding more levels or whatever, more characters, more maps, more levels, more guns, etc. Like the things, like I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say, and I don't know how to put it into like a thing because it isn't really. It is a thing. It'd be early access, right? Because you've got the main fucking game there, the gameplay's down. Maybe you're doing music, guns, cars, whatever, characters, and all that shit, and you're adding them in. I would say that would be early access rather than what they release now is early access, where it's like a complete fucking alpha build, and half the shit. Not only is half the shit missing, half the mechanics aren't there. The gameplay isn't locked down yet, and all that stuff.
I don't think I've had an early access that was like. See, I have only done one early access, and it really wasn't that bad.
What was it?
It was this little game that I oh no wait, I've done 2 early accesses. Okay. The one that I was thinking of is I got this little game because it looked cute for my daughter. And okay. I can't remember the name of it. Start with an N. It's on my Steam. And then the other early access I did was for that Final Fantasy RP, like online RP.
Don't know what that one is, and I should know because I like. See, this is what's happened, right? Wait. I should know.
If I can find it.
Because I'm like, I was well into Final Fantasy until they fucked it up. I'm just saying, 10 was okay, but I was like, meh. 12 was meh as well, and then I just lost interest. Like, nah. No, how about no? And then 13 done. That was it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, no, this isn't a Final Fantasy game anymore, you faggots. And then the newest one, which I'm like, I played it.
The boy band adventure game.
Yeah, the combat isn't. It's not even a Final Fantasy game. The combat is retarded. I like the old turn-based combat. Like of the old proper Final Fantasy games, like 8 was good, 7 was like the best, and 6 was good. No. 6 is actually 6 might have been better because it was funnier, but like overall like graphics and everything, 7 was better because it was newer and it had the FMV and all that. So
I'm still gonna put 7 at the best. Best RPG I've ever played.
Have you played 6 on the SNES?
Yes, I've played all of them except for 5, just because I can't find a version of 5, or at least like the American version of 5. I think the Japanese version of 5 was what?
It's
4,
on Steam,
right?
It's on Steam, I think.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
I'll have to go check it out. But
I think 5 and 6.
One except for 14 and the American version of 5.
Right. So I think 5 and 6 is on Steam because 5 and 6 got remade for the PlayStation or PlayStation 2, and they added FMV and stuff in. I think that's what it was, or was it 4 and 6? I don't remember because they confused the numbers because 6 is 3 in America, so it got really confusing. We didn't get 6 over here I don't think. I'm not sure. Or we did and it was called 6, and then it's confused. It's like, where's the other ones? Why is it 6? We've not had the other ones, right? Because I think 6 was the first one that came out over here. Or maybe it was the third one that came out over here, but they called it 6 anyway. That's why they called it 3 in the US, is because the other ones didn't come out over there. So they named it 3 not to confuse you, and then when you get the internet you get confused anyway, because you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Steam has quite a lot of the older Final Fantasies on there. I think it's definitely got 6. I think it's got 4 and 5 as well, I think. But you'll have to look, and they're quite expensive. To be fair, for what they are, they're quite expensive. But they did remake. I think they remade 4, 5, and 6 with wee bit updated graphics, and they added FMV, and they released it on the PlayStation, I think, because my mate's got the one 5 and 6. Because it was in a PlayStation box and it had 2 discs on it, and it had 2 games. One was 6 and one was 5, I think. Or it might have been 4 and 6. Don't know.
The numbers, like whenever they switched over for the American version, because they came out in different orders for Japan than they did for us. So like everything before 5, or everything like 5 and before, the numbers are all switched up for me, and I'm not sure which is which, but
yep.
I never played any of that though.
I definitely know they're on Steam. There's definitely the older ones on Steam.
I played 7, 10, 10-2, which was awful. And then I played the online RP one, which I actually posted a video of it off to the side so you can look, and that's the one that I was like was playing early. Unfortunately it cost money. It's like it's on the PC. And if it didn't cost money, I would be playing it now. I'm super addicted.
But is that not the new one? Fun. Is that the new one or the first one? Because they remade it. They had it for a couple of years. It didn't do well. It died, and then they took it down, and they fucked with it, and they've put it back up. I think that's Final Fantasy 11. I think it's Final Fantasy 11. They definitely. I don't know,
but this is the one that I played, because this looks like the same one that I played with the guys like running around in this. In the characters and everything. That looks like the one that I...
Right, well, they definitely took it down. And it was up for a number of years. And they took it down, they redid a lot of things, and then they put it back up. And the only reason I haven't played it is because it's a subscription. I'm not fucking doing that shit.
Yeah,
I'm one of the people
when I played it with the early thing, it didn't cost me any money. They had people could come play for free during like the early stage, but then like when it was released, then you'd have to like pay.
Yep.
And then that's when I stopped playing it, because I couldn't do the paying every month for it.
Yeah, because I don't know when 1 month I might be able to afford it and next month I can't. So like, I'm not fucking doing it. Just like, no, I'm not taking out a subscription for this shit. That's the reason I liked Guild Wars. I tried Guild Wars 2, didn't really get it. But I've still got it. I have what other one? Rift. Rift does that. And Elder Scrolls Online has went that way as well. So you just buy it and there's no subscription fee anymore. I hope that's the way the Final Fantasy one goes, because if it does, I'll try it. But I'm not doing a fucking trial, because I know I'll get pissed off with not being able to like do the rest of it. Fuck that. Yeah, so
I think the last game I paid a subscription for was probably RuneScape, back when it was still in its heyday.
I played RuneScape. It was actually pretty cheap for subscription wise. I think it was like what, $10 or $15. I don't know. It was something cheap. And then
the subscription a year was $50, and if you want to do it by month, then it was $50, or it was $5 a month.
Or $5. Like, I couldn't remember. I just remember it being really cheap. I played that. Like, my whole family played that. My mom played that. Both my brothers played that, and I played that. And then we also had, but that wasn't the last one I played, because I played the old EverQuest, and then I played EverQuest 2, and EverQuest 2 was the last one that I had played. And I never went back to it because my mom ended up it was like her game or whatever. I get that, but she went onto my characters, stripped them, and deleted them and stole my stuff.
Oh, that's like the worst punishment ever. I keep going fucking
I know.
she's
like, oh, well, you haven't played it in a month or something, and because I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, oh, you haven't played it in a month or whatever. And
you took all my stuff. What the fuck are you doing?
And it's like, well, it's my game.
Yeah, I have still got my fucking memory cards for the PlayStation. I've not even got a PlayStation anymore, but I've still got the memory cards with my Final Fantasy VII saves on it. And I'm like, I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere. Like, I've got them, and that's good enough for me. Like, yep. I'm just like that. If someone erased the card or something, or it's just so if I come across the card, I'll be like, yeah, you still got it. There's no point. I'm never going to play it again, probably, but I just like to know it's there.
Yeah.
Weird. But it's all that work, man. I have chocobo, golden chocobos, fucking black ones, green ones, all that shit.
Yeah,
all the ultimate weapons for everyone.
My highest character was level I was really close to level 50. I wasn't level 50, but I was really close. And the highest I think you could get at the time was level 60 or something. And so I was close to level 50. I had really nice armor and all this crap. I had platinum, or I think platinum was the highest. I had a lot of money and I can't even. And I did the little stuff where you could craft things and everything. I was working on those skills and everything. I'm still mad about it.
Yep.
I love checking back into my because apparently somebody is playing on my RuneScape account. I was at just under level 126, the highest you could get. And every few months or so, or once a year, so I'll log into my account and see all the shit that's changed and all the quests that are done. And somebody's playing on my account, having fun with it, but I don't play it anymore.
Did you sell your account, or did it get hacked?
No, I stopped playing, and then when I logged into it, somebody else was playing it, and I was like, fuck it, you can have it.
So they hacked it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if mine ever got hacked or anything. I know I had a Santa hat, which was worth, at the time, it was worth a ton. I remember I had my little Santa hat. But
I never got a Santa hat, but I did have enough money once to buy the cheapest party hat. And I bought that, and then didn't have any money to do anything else, so I sold it for a $40 million loss. I was pissed.
It was
only 10%. I think it was $400 million. So it wasn't too big of a loss, but it was still a huge chunk of money.
I always get really rich on those kind of games. I was really rich on EverQuest. I had tons of money.
Oh, get off that, good Jimmy's.
And I was really rich on RuneScape. I spend a lot of time getting really rich on games like that.
Me.1.
Oh yeah, I mean
I know.
Everyone would always do sit there and either fish or woodcut for money.
That's the whole point.
No, the best way to do it was cannonballs.
Yeah.
I made so much money sitting there smelting cannonballs.
Smoking cannonballs. Right, so change it to this, which is quite good news to me. This sounds pretty good. Since we're on about Final Fantasy, I thought we'd stick with that.
Oh yeah.
So, Final Fantasy, the newest one, the boy band one, right? It's not on the PC, but the director says he wants to bring it to PC. Now, this sounds good. The reason why he would like to try developing on the PC to pursue a unique way of playing with PC exclusive features, like making your own quests and enjoying the world using things like mods. So the reason, so the reason he wants to bring it to PC is to let people mod it, and that to me that sounds do it, Square. Let them do it, because the mods could make that game. Like, they definitely could, depending on what you need to, like, if they could maybe change the battle system back to like a proper one, and do like high res textures like they do with Skyrim and all that, right? It depends how far they go with it, of course, but at any rate they would be able to do quests and other stuff. So this sounds really fucking good. Yeah, the problem is, which is, I have spoke to developers actually. There's a thing on the radio station, one of the Shooting the Shit shows where we had one, and basically said sometimes, although it does take time to develop tools to let modders go in and do stuff, which costs a wee bit extra money. There is that, but also he said that the AAA studios don't like you doing that because they want you to make DLC, and they feel that mods trample on that for revenue. So that's why it stopped. It's not because the developers didn't want to do it. It's because like the publisher didn't want to do it, and obviously the head of the studio wanted to make more money as well because DLC. So yeah, that's the way it works. But I mean, you have GTA 5, which has, like, you can inject mods into the game and stuff. They've got maps and stuff, so I could see them doing quests, at least quests. Some high-res texture mods and stuff as well, like Skyrim, maybe fixing the interface a wee bit, and it depends. But it really sounds good, because I would definitely, if that was a thing, I would definitely buy that game, because I've heard it's okay. Like, I have played it, and I was like, I've heard it's okay, but if they put mods in it, I'd be like, yeah, they'd definitely be buying it. And I have been waiting for it for the PC, because I thought it might come out in the PC, so hopefully. Another reason he wants to put it on the PC is because he wants to show gamers how the game looks on high-end rig. Sure, not alone wanting to be to see this, given his Final Fantasy, was it 15? It's 15, isn't it? It's had so many different names. That game was through development hell. It was 13 verses at one point, I think. Has been scaled down greatly to run in decent frame rates and resolution on the crappy consoles, because everyone knows consoles are like low tier PCs. And again, that's I'm not slagging them off. That's a good thing that they are, because they're so close to PC architecture that it isn't actually that much to just like grab it and put it across. It's not a lot of code you need to change, because they're still running AMD hardware. So there isn't a lot to change, which is good. It means the PC should be getting a lot more ports than it used to, and they won't be as shit. They'll just have more graphics options, hopefully. Yeah, so on the PC with like a 1080 and 3 gigabytes or 32 gigabyte RAM and stuff, the game could look a whole lot like a whole other beast. Yeah, I don't need to tell people what there's differences between Crysis 1 and Xbox 360 and PS3 to Crysis 1 and a decked out gaming rig. Yeah, that was a thing back in the day. It was like, yeah, your PC might be high-end gaming rig, but can it run Crysis?
What I miss?
There's a reason
Talk
for
about
that.
games.
There's a reason the meme at the time was, yeah, but can it run Crysis? Because even the highest rigs at the time couldn't really run that game that well. Like, it could, but you would like more power. Nowadays, of course, even though Crysis still looks good, it runs really fast. So, and it looks a bit shitty compared to nowadays, like, games. So you've got like Crysis 2 even, or 3, I think it's 3, still runs not the way I would want it to on my PC, but I mean, it looks fucking great. So yeah, so you could imagine the new Final Fantasy with like a 4K texture upgrade and all that shit, and
Hey,
overhauls
Void.
with modders and yeah.
Check your DMs, Void.
Let's check my DMs.
fine.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, have you seen Kingsley Final Fantasy 15, which was the movie they brought out?
I haven't watched it yet, but I do have it on a RIP DVD.
I haven't seen it.
It's quite good because it fills you in on what the hell's going on in the game, and I enjoyed it as well. Just watching it, I was like, yeah, it's Final Fantasy. But the game wasn't. Like, the game story might have been, but like the gameplay and stuff, it's like, no, why? But yeah, I mean, if you could, a PC might be able to get closer to what that movie looked like, because that was done with fucking PCs rendering the shit out of it. So,
Oh yeah.
so if you had if you had these options, and modders got in there and like this game was running on the PC, it would look really, really good. And then later on, I mean, if they've got the ability to do that, then later on, like maybe like 5 or 6 years down the line, it will look like Kingslave. So you could like watch Kingslave and then jump right into the game, and it would look fucking one-on-one on par with it, because modders are quite good at that shit, doing textures and stuff and taking it from like the films or whatever and putting them in. I mean, even Final Fantasy 7 has mods that make it look more like Final Fantasy. What was it? The other movie. What was it called?
Oh, Advent Children.
Yes, there's mods for 7 that make it look more like the Advent Children characters. So they're all not exactly, but a lot better than the blocky things you got in the PS1, right? They're more high textures and stuff. Of course, there's only so much you can do, but it does look more like the Advent Children characters. They've actually got muscle definition and hands and other things.
Oh, hands.
Yeah, they've actually got hands.
Fingers would have been good in that game, but
Well, to be fair, they don't even have hands. Like, it's just a block. So yeah, but they do have hands and fingers. And
Barrett didn't have a block. He had some definition in his blocks.
Yeah, yeah, but the modders have actually done it. The modders have done a really good job of it. And they replaced all the music because the PlayStation had proper wave quality music, and the PC got MIDI. Why would you do that? Makes no sense. But there's a mod that basically lets you use the proper music. You can download the CD and put it in the game files, and instead of playing the MIDI, it plays the proper music. So that's good.
Like it may have just been the time that I was playing the game and how old I was whenever I was getting into it and whatnot, but which is why it's my favorite game. But it's still the one game that I got engrossed in the story of. Yeah,
that's what it did for me too. I played Zelda Link to the Past was the first RPG I think I ever played, and I was loving the shit out of that. But Final Fantasy VII was like the first type of RPG like that I ever played, and I just loved it. It's fucking great. Yes, it's just very good.
I was gonna say the same thing with the music, because that was one of the first ones I actually had the music downloaded and sat there and put it on a CD and walked around with my little pocket-sized Walkman.
Yep.
and listen to the soundtrack of the game.
Yeah, because it has that epic it has like a soundtrack you would have for a film, but it's a lot longer. And
it sounds like the Japanese version of John Williams did the soundtrack.
Yeah. No, he is. He basically is. I mean, Aerith Radio plays his shit all the time. It's all, and it seems to be all the Japanese games that have that type of music. Like, there is a few big AAA studios over here that do it now, but for the most part, the music that I like is mostly like from RPGs and stuff. I don't know why that is. I mean, there is, like, Battlefield has decent music as well. Some of it. Mass Effect had decent music. But most of them are Japanese RPGs that have, like, the... like, even if I've not played the game, I'll put on the music and I'm like, yep, that sounds good. Because
it's like whenever they were making it, they weren't trying to make background music, or they weren't trying to make a background score or something. That they were trying to make like an actual score, and then it just applied that. Okay, well, this is the score to this video game. Like it wasn't. It didn't seem like it was
it's in the background. Thing. No one's going to notice.
Yeah,
it's like a movie soundtrack. They've done it in a different way than a lot of other, I think, Western things just go, oh, it's just background music, will be fine. Whereas they went in and put decent effort in it and went, no, our music's going to stand out. And every time you hear the music, it takes you back to that point in the game as well. Like, you hear the battle music, you're like, yeah. You hear the finishing music, you're like, yeah, like da 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 da. Everyone knows that is that you've leveled up, you finished the battle. God, even the Chocobo sound, even the Chocobo music, which is fucking awful. Every time it plays, you know exactly. Or the Golden Saucer music when you first go into Golden Saucer. And it's that music. Yep, that's good. So no matter when you hear it, you're like, yeah, oh, I remember that. And it brings back that like thing of going in the Golden Saucer for the first time with the fireworks and shit going off and stuff.
Like the two actual songs like that are only in certain parts of the game, or like that only show up during certain characters or certain parts of the story or whatever. Like the Genova music.
Yep.
Like all the stuff they did for the Genova stuff was just fucking brilliant, and the one-winged Aerith's theme still makes me fucking cry. Well, nearly. It's like, oh man, that was bad. It's that. There's the different themes for every character. The One-Winged Angel song. That's still. That epic fucking Sephiroth villain music.
Yep. They redone that as well.
I can talk about Final Fantasy VII for a decade straight, because I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah, so can that. 8 was similar as well in that way, because there's bits of 8 that I remember. Not as much as 7, but 8 did it. 9, not so much, although 9 was quite a good game.
That was a great game, and I love the story in it, but the gameplay in it kind of bugged me. Like I love the gameplay of the older ones, like the ones you could play on the damn handheld and whatnot. Like it was just the fun fighting style.
Yep.
And then whenever it developed a little bit more, and they started having these new and like unique kind of ways to level up and ways to power up and ways to develop your characters and kind of create the team that you wanted, not just all right, well now here's your healer, here's your whatever, here's your you could make the game how you wanted to make the game.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 missed out on that. Like it wasn't the same, and then they brought it back with 10 with that grid system. Like, but
yeah,
I 9 was lacking that a little bit, and it bugged me a little bit.
Yeah. It was still okay, like, but 10. I didn't like 10. I thought it was too.
Everyone always
thought it was
on
too
10,
straight,
and especially 10 too. But like those, I really liked them.
No, I thought it was too straight. Like, I love the open world aspect of like the Final Fantasy games, which 10 didn't do. And I'm like, oh fuck's sake! And then we've not had one that's done that since.
It gave you the opportunity, but it kind of punished you in the same way, because any time you would go and explore the world, it didn't ever really give you any more of the story or more of the world. It was just kind of, all right, well, there's stuff hidden all over the place, but it has nothing to do with the story. You can just go and search and find whatever you want to, but it's not going to give you any more information or any more. It's not going to. You're not going to develop any more into the world of Final Fantasy X. It's just open. You can go do and look for stuff, but it's not.
No, I mean like a world map where you could get an airship or whatever, and you could go along the world map and just go anywhere you wanted. It was more like you were locked in on certain paths until it did open up. The same with 13. 13 only opened up after you got to a certain point. And I didn't. That's what I don't like about the new ones. I wish they would just go back to like, look, do these epic graphics and shit. You can do all that, but just have like a world map like it used to be. Have a fucking world, god damn it! Just have a world map. Let me fly a fucking airship or whatever.
Like the next game is just a world map.
No,
well, they had that and no one liked it. It was called No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky was fucking pissed though. That's not what a world map is. That's just a retarded map. It's a shit game. No, but like a world map, the way it used to be, where you could land your airship, wander around, get into fights and shit if you wanted to, or go into certain towns, just go into any town you wanted. Like, oh, there's a town, I'll land here. You go into the town and you've got the town things and you've got all that shit, right? You don't have that in the newer games. You just go into towns.
That definitely ended after like 7 and 8.
9
and
9 had it.
Like a little bit with 9 too, but there wasn't as much to do except for really just kind of play a bunch of the mini games that were hidden all over the world.
Yep, and then it just vanished, and it was shit.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly.
I won with 10 too, but it didn't fucking matter because the game was so damn short. You played through the game and then just rode around on the ship and everything. So.
Hey, Warren. I'm sorry to interrupt, but YouTube. We're still on YouTube, so we might want to get off YouTube now.
Are we? Oh yeah. Okay.
And on that note, while we're switching over to the radio, I'm going to go make dinner, so I'll be back after.
No, hang on. I'm going for a pee. What? I'm going for a pee. So stay.
Okay, I'll let you go pee. I'll let you go pee.
Shit, and then I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All
right. So what shit do you want to talk? Narwhal.
Well, we could talk about Sargon's going full SJW right now at this very moment.
Is he? What's?
Okay, here's what he said. Sargon of Akkad, if you support Hillary Clinton, I am not interested in your opinion of the state of the swamp. So because of the candidate you supported, he is not interested in your opinions. That is full on SJW. I don't know what's happening to Sargon right now, but he is degrading, and he's degrading fast right now. First, honestly, everyone compromises their morals, and now we don't need to listen to the other side. Oh my god. I can't handle it.
Sargon?
I like you. What are you doing?
No, I love Sargon, and I'm a huge fan of him, and he's one of the true, like, because he is a leftist, but he's one of the he's very center left, but he is a leftist. But
I'm kind of center left too. Like I'm there too.
I'm center left economically, but I'm center left socially and culturally.
I just took a test and I was like, okay, I'm here. And so
I'm back. See,
political test or whatever. So like I'm kind of there too, but I don't know what he's doing, and I'm like, I'm just like, I disagree with literally everything right now, Sargon. What's going on?
We will get into that.
I'm always anti everything. Like if anyone has a cause, whatever the cause is, I'm anti that, because whatever you want to do, I'm sure you're wrong. Like any cause anyone has, that's the wrong cause to back. I'm pretty much anti everything at this point.
I'm anti it.
Right. Okay. I'm going to stop the broadcast. So if you want to show if you've got YouTube channels or Twitter, or you want to say something about it, this is the chance. You can be doing it now.
Go ahead, Varnish.
Okay. I'm at Unvarnished Void on Twitter and Unvarnished Void on YouTube, and my latest video is Sargon of Abandoning Morals. Go watch. It's great.
All right. Well, I have a YouTube. It's Satan and Satire. Mostly I just do streams with whoever I can get on my channel or whoever will let me on their channel. But follow me on Twitter at Satan Satire, because I post some interesting bullshit occasionally when it's not all terrible. But
yeah, okay. Yeah. So people that are on YouTube, if you are viewing this right now, if you go to the radio, which is aerithradio.co.uk, and click on the play button or the other things, look, you'll figure it out. We're still live on there. Usually we only do this for half an hour as like a little promo on the YouTube thing. Yeah, and the other reason is, well, we can do whatever we want over there. Music, whatever. Like, if anything comes up, videos, music, or whatever, we don't get flagged. So that's the thing. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, whatever. Yeah. So, well, yes. There you go. And to contact me on the Twitter, it's at GPF_Mornblade. Yeah, that's it. Aerith Radio. Well, Aerith Radio is that one too. Just Aerith Radio on Twitter, I think, but no one uses it. No one uses it. I just go on it sometimes just to check if everything's working. But yeah, I've got a couple of admin. Well, another person to that has access to it as well. So in fact, Unvarnished has access to it, but she never uses it. We've got a couple of other DJs that have access to it. There's only one of them that actually uses it. So it's not only my fault, it's everyone's responsibility, and no one uses it. Okay, No one uses it, so don't fucking blame me.
It ain't my fault.
Yeah, no, we do tweet out stuff that we need to do. So I'm going to start the broadcast now.